Alright guys, I want to go over something safety related. Now in the Silverado that I just pulled the engine and transmission out of, and the whole front piece there, this vehicle right here, you saw the video, I pulled the assembly out there. Now I got to put this thing back up in the air because I have things to do. What you need to do is you need to double check where your lift is mounted, if you're using a lift. Even if you're using jack stands and stuff, just verify, because you just changed the weight of the vehicle drastically. And now you took an extreme amount of weight off the nose of the vehicle, and you moved the center of gravity basically of this vehicle back further. So you got to make sure your contact points of your lift or your jack stands or your floor jack, whatever you're using, you need to be certain of where it is. Because the last thing I want is for one of you guys to get hurt, working on your own vehicle. That's just, it's not cool. Safety is the #1 priority when working on a vehicle, especially when you have to go underneath it, because you could go underneath it and never come back out. You'll come back out, but you'll come back out and you'll wind up in a casket, and not cool. Use your head, use your brains. It doesn't take much to do the right thing. So I verified where the lift is mounted again. Like I said, also, that's the thing too, I forgot to mention. You're doing something like this, something this big. There again, you're pulling the engine out. You pull the tranny out from the vehicle. The possibility of the vehicle pushing back or forward or whatever, or getting picked up and off of the jack stands or lift and then being repositioned on it in a different spot, that's very likely to happen. The probability is very high. So think safety. Always think safety. It's the one thing that can make you go home at night. And if you're home doing it, it's the one thing that can make you go back inside and have dinner or a cold one, whatever you're going to do. So just like I said, safety first. That's all. I just want to make sure everybody does the right thing, and it's something that you don't often think about. And a lot of times too, if you have a lift at your house, okay, and you put the vehicle up in the air and you do whatever kind of work it is, and you let the vehicle down. If you let the vehicle down and put the wheels back on the ground, every single time you go back up, you should check the lift, because the vehicle can move. Remember that. I've seen it happen more than once. I've seen it happen multiple times. I've seen a truck fall off of a lift because a guy didn't pay attention to that. Every time he set it back down on the ground, because think about this, on a lot of cars, if you have, it was a Dodge truck, it was a newer Dodge truck with control arms in the rear and had coil springs in the rear. It was in park. So every time you go up in the air, the control arms would do this in the back. So the rear wheels would actually come forward. When they come forward, and now you're up in the air and you let it back down, the contact point on the floor is in one spot. So now as the car comes down, or the truck comes down rather, it actually gets pushed forward a hair. And he did it multiple times, and guess what? All of a sudden, bam, it fell off the lift. Luckily, it didn't hurt anybody, and luckily it didn't damage the truck. Amazingly enough, it happened about 3 feet off the ground, and the truck slipped, and what happened was 3 of the contact points were actually still in a good spot. 1 contact point came off, and luckily it didn't hit the body, nothing. Amazing that it did that way, but it scared the snot out of him. So just something to consider, something to think about. Safety first. Alright guys, getting something out of my videos, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. Alright, that's it for today. Have a great day. Keep brunching.